Right, so we should now be live. Hello everyone, I'm just going to double check everything is okay on OBS. Appears to be. Glorious! How are we all doing today? Hello Brenton, I'm doing okay. I'm a lot better than I was earlier on in the week, that's for sure, so... I am happy for that at the very least. Hello King Giga, how are you doing today? Just thought I would start today with getting this transformer built quickly that I wanted to get done. Just so it's done and out of the way before we get to doing the big stuff. Hello, Kairu. I'm sorry to hear that, Berenson. Yeah, I just wanted to get this this transformer sorted out before we sort of get stuck into the big stuff. Just kind of done a relatively simple version. I don't really like these sort of transformers. I think they're particularly unsafe. But they are what they are. Also, apologies if you can hear the fan in the background, but it's been another bit of a sort of muggy, humid kind of day here, so there may be some noise. Does anyone play Ark without mods these days? I'm sure there must be a few crazy people that do. Little that'll do. Well, they say when it comes to places to put your base, it's location, location, location. What happened there? I want to add something for a little bit of colour. Otherwise it's a bit green. Yeah, I'm reasonably happy with that. You're using additional creatures, the Sunken World mod that has the Protoceratops and Henodus and Smilodon and... I never really got into Ark. Just didn't grab hold of me. I think for me the difficulty spike, the difficulty curve was just totally over the top. Sure, there's a warning sign on here. Font. Hello, Jack. Yes, so let's get on to chatting because I will be heading off early today because we are doing D&D today. So yeah, let's get talking about the Planet Zoo 2 trailer. Let's just talk about the trailer in itself, like first, without talking about evolution as well. So I thought it was very interesting that the Planet Zoo 2 trailer is a full minute shorter than the Planet Zoo 1 trailer. And that to me suggests that perhaps there wasn't very much that they could put in the trailer yet. Which suggests to me that if there was a reason for Evolution 3's content to be delayed, Planet Zoo 2 having to get to a standard where they could make a trailer from it, I think that's a good possibility. I'm not convinced the delay has been caused by Universal. I think the delay may have been internal because of Planet Zoo 2. But yeah, apart from that, I think the trailer looks fine. Obviously, the big draw is obviously the marine animals, for them at least, for the Planet Zoo players. It's the marine animals, the birds. That's obviously going to be a big draw. Actually, no, we have emergency lights. I think that'll do for now. Hello, Chad. I'm doing all right. You know, getting there, slowly getting better. How are you? Now, where do I want these transforms? Guess it makes sense to have one here. Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Lokiceratops to the park.
Yes, I see Prehistoric Kingdom's also been revealing more of their stuff. I haven't had a proper look at that yet. But yeah, the Planet Zoo 2 trailer looked perfectly fine. I think the fact it was short is interesting. Where do I want this? let's get rid of that pylon there. So from here, it needs to go kind of put a repeater in from there. Too far away. God, they always take this. I'm not sure I like the Allosaurus Anax design, if I'm honest. I kind of prefer, I don't know, the sheer amount of scoots and spikes it has on it, I just think it's a little Jurassic-y. I kind of would rather they go for something less like that, but yeah, the Europanus one I do like. And yes, apparently Planet Zoo 2 is going to come with this conservation mode where you release animals into the wild, which just seems like they took a Jurassic World Evolution 3 feature and actually did a decent job with it. But obviously the big thing is the big thing that everyone's talking about is the aquarium footage, obviously. And the aquarium does look pretty damn cool from what we've seen of it so far. What to do here? I think we'll just do... Yeah, we'll just do like a rough work. What kind of aggravates me is this is kind of the moment where us lot in the evolution community ought to be pushing for some, you know, better changes to come to our game. Especially after all the fucking around that we've had. And I'm kind of... I get the sensation that the community has mostly just given up with trying to be angry with them. It's like that. Oh, they've announced that when everything's coming back. Yay, everything's sorted now. We know when stuff is releasing, so we can go back to being quiet and submissive in this abusive relationship we all have with Frontier. And then you see an aquarium like that, the releases for Planet Zoo 2, where it's got, you know, proper environmental details like the fish swimming about. And it looks like it's going to be a completely free form creation. I mean, it looks like they've just dug a hole and they've put water in it, and there's your aquarium. And it really aggravates me that the community is just not pushing for decent changes. You know, not calling her out here, but it kind of made me laugh that in Evo's video the other day, she made a habit of pointing out, oh, it would be cool if we had like the windows in the side of the from the lagoon viewing galleries that we could place in the side of the lagoons. I said that years ago for Jurassic World Evolution 2. It's like, heaven's sake. Not going to do much talk today. Thinking about Evolution 3 and Planet Zoo 2 is making my head hurt. Also sucks that I feel like I wasted 60 quid on a game, only for a better one to come out not too long after. Yeah. You know, it's actually been on my mind to that I'm considering switching games. I'm considering leaving Evolution 3 behind. But that'll have to be something I think a lot further about whether I want to give up with Evolution 3 at this relatively early stage in its development. As someone who really adores the idea of the marine species, it's sad to see how they've been treated in Evolution 3. Yes, it is. It is really sad, because if I had to pick a feature from Evolution 2 that I was most hyped for at the time, it was the marine animals. I love prehistoric marine creatures. I think so many of them are so interesting. And I suppose I prefer aquariums to zoos in a weird way. I think I just kind of prefer being in aquariums. Good ones, at least. I just think there was so much potential with them, and it's been wasted. It has been wasted potential. And of course, the problem now is no one cares about them. No one gives a shit about the lagoons, because they made such a shit job of them in the first place. So now they're never going to get better, because people aren't going to kick up a fuss about making the lagoons better. It's you know, it's a sort of self-defeating cycle. Like, because the lagoons weren't better than because the lagoons weren't good enough, no one bothered to use them, and because no one bothered to use them, Frontier thinks no one is interested in them, so doesn't want to make any improvements to them. When actually, it's kind of the problem is the opposite. Like, no one is using the lagoons because Frontier hasn't done a good job of improving them. Yes, it's kind of good. I kind of liking how this is looking. I need a tree in here of some description. How big can you guys get? Oh, you guys can get pretty big actually. I think we need something on this flat rock here. I quite like that actually. I think that looks pretty decent there. Oh, we need to continue it over here. Planet Zoo. Well, obviously the Planet games are going to... Chad, I don't know enough about the BBC ignoring Tim Haynes. I don't know enough about that news, so I can't really tell you either way. But if Tim Haynes did suggest a show to the BBC and the BBC turned round and went, no thanks, then they are fools. And we all saw what ended up as a result with their attempt to bring Walking with Dinosaurs back. And it was awful. But the BBC do have a tendency to make foolish decisions, so that is on them. I mean, they thought they could fire Jeremy Clarkson and everything and keep going with Top Gear without them all, and everything would be the same. Another stupid thought that the BBC had. Where are the cactuses? I think that'll do for that bit. Now we do have this sort of like area here. I'm thinking... Can we get water in there? I'm gonna assume it's gonna go, no. We might be able to. See how we go. Apparently that's a no. We cannot get water in there. That's disappointing. Hmm. I don't think that it would have hurt too much to add a new lagoon species to the launch of the game. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand their hesitation to use it. Like, it feels like they don't actually like the lagoons. Like Frontier themselves don't. I mean, fair play to them if they don't like how the lagoons turned out. Most of us don't like how the lagoons turned out. But that doesn't mean you just kind of ignore them without trying to do something more with them. It just seems very odd to me that they wouldn't try harder with them. Unless, like I said, they've just decided that they are a lost cause and they don't want to waste their time working on them, which I think is a terrible mistake. There's a bet that that's annoying. I can either have it a little bit too short or a little bit too wide. Okay. Yes, I agree with you, Kairu. I think the lagoons have a far superior possibility for behaviors than potentially the terrestrial animals. I also just think, in terms of the lagoons, they have the greatest variation in life. Like, even if you looked at them as they were in Evolution 2, like, yes, you had the marine reptiles, but then you also had sharks, you also had turtles, you had fish in the form of Dunkleosteus, you had things like nothosaurs, mosasaurs. You have a very sort of wide range of animals that you could pick from for the lagoons. And once you had the whole resting rooms thing, you could really, kind of go wild with what animals you had living in them. A-okay. Yeah, orthocones would have been pretty cool to see. However, and this is where I'm going to shock all of you with horror, because I am about to defend Frontier. Many of the problems that are inherently present in Evolution as a game series are not really Frontier's fault. They are, in actual fact, more a side effect of having to make a game with animals which are, for the most part, bloody huge. You know? The average prehistoric creature is enormous. Especially when it comes to sea creatures. And I think scale is the problem. Because I think those aquariums in Planet Zoo 2, they look fantastic. But they're all going to be small, aren't they? They're going to be relatively small compared to the sort of thing you would put a mosasaur in, for example. And I think that's the true problem. The true area where Frontier's style of game doesn't work is scale. I have always said that the scale of evolution games just doesn't work correctly. You have these huge animals in equally huge enclosures with buildings that don't really fit the scale, with guests that don't fit this scale, with methods of viewing that don't fit this scale. I honestly think that Planet Zoo's 2 aquariums are going to work better because they don't have to try to put a 20-meter long reptile into their tanks. What else were they going to do for evolution for putting the animals in there? Like, you're kind of limited in the methods that you can do that. So to give Frontier a bit of a benefit of the doubt, I think they had a very difficult task ahead of them. I think there are ways around that task. I think there were plenty of possibilities, and I think they picked the wrong ones. But speaking generally, I think the scale of dinosaurs and the scale of prehistoric animals creates some inherent challenges when it comes to building a game about making a zoo for them, essentially. You know? If you're going to put a 20-meter long mosasaur in your parks, you need an enormous tank. And if you have an enormous tank, well, you can't really do lots of complicated particle effects and stuff with them without them becoming sources of performance problem. If you have a small aquarium for, like, a sunfish, I believe that's what the fish was in the tank there. I think it's a sunfish. Well, they're big fish, but, you know, they're not a 20-meter long mosasaur. So, hello something. Planet Zoo 2 is a better sequel, remade every asset's visuals, unlike Evolution 3, which has the 2018 models. Yes. Hello Guillermo and Cozy. Oh, it was a sunfish. Thank you, Tyrannical Blizzard. But yeah, as I was saying, like, the simple fact of the matter is... Oh, hello, Colt. The fact of the matter is, I think the sheer scale of dinosaurs, of mosasaurs, of all these animals comes with a series of inherent challenges for building a park builder game around them. And I think it's only recently that I've kind of thought about that. And I'm willing to, you know, I understand why in Frontier's case that is a difficulty. Like I said, I think there were things they could have done to improve, but I get it. Building lagoons for these animals is a difficult task. But again, that's what we pay all that money every time for, frankly. And obviously, I suppose we do also have to talk about the elephant in the room. Universal is obviously also is always a factor when it comes to these games. As much as I hate, or as much as I think, hate's a strong word, as much as I think Frontier has been disappointing with these games over the years, Universal is probably part of the problem. We will never know how much of a problem, just they are definitely part of the problem. But if I was Frontier, if, and I stress if, because I don't think Universal was the cause of the delays. If it was Universal, though, and I was Frontier, I would be doing everything I could to take advantage of the situation, as it were. If there was anything that if it was my games company, and if there was anything that I had wanted to do with the game that Universal were like umming and ahhing on, I would now, if they were responsible for the delays, I would be saying like, our player base could do with something to make up for the delays. Maybe we could do those things that we were talking about that you were umming and ahhing about. Or maybe you could fast track something for us to make up for the delays that were out of our hand. I would be making as much of this as possible for all of our benefits. Sometimes, to use a modern analogy, you do require a Karen. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, something. I think that is a serious problem. Obviously, people are gonna have drifted away from the game because nothing was going on with it. That being said, I do think how to put this without sounding rude. I think too many people have gotten greedy with the way gaming has gone. This sort of assumption that video games have to have regular content all of the time. I think modern gaming has caused part of the problem too. I do want to put a couple of like benches here. And I think we probably want a couple of lights. I kind of want to turn this into like a car park.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across
Yeah, I
the
agree
site.
with you, Kairu.
Available
Like, I
personnel,
think...
please respond.
I mean, I've said this for many years now, again, at this point. I think the way that the prehistoric kingdom handled the smaller species, I think that was the best way to do them. I think the way Evolution 3 and 2 have tried to force the existing massive scale to work with creatures that are piss small in the end of it. Yeah, it just hasn't really worked. Not to mention those little terrariums, for want of a better term. They give the prehistoric kingdom folks quite a lot of leeway with future animals that they might want to introduce. Because that's the like clever way of introducing stuff. It's not the stuff you immediately introduce that's like that you need the most thinking about. It's, or at least the way I would have done it was sort of, how are we going to use these things in the future? And I suspect nobody at Frontier thought about how the lagoons were going to be used in the future before coming up with them. Like, I suspect they all just thought, oh, we need to have a mosasaur in the game. How do we put one in there? Well, we need to make this lagoon tank. We'll make it like the aviary building. Nobody thought about how future animals and future development would sort of add to it. That's why that lagoon resting rock feels like such a tacked-on afterthought. Because it is. It is a tacked-on afterthought. Nobody actually had any ideas. Where are my tropical bushes? I'm... Of course, the sun picks this exact moment to drop off the face of the earth. God damn it. Excuse me? Okay, whatever. I think it looks quite nice. Since we are in the dark, it gives me an opportunity to fit in some lighting here. Let's change... I think we go for the orange. I think the orange light works best. Nice. I'm comfy with how they look. I haven't seen the alloy design in the end of Oak Street. Bear with me 1 second. Let me have a look. End of Oak Street. Oh dear lord, it's hideous. Good. What the fuck have they done with that? Are they feather? Are they supposed to be feathers? God, it looks like a mammal or something that's got rabies. Oh, that's horrible. Doesn't look like an aloe either, apart from the crests above the eyes. If you got rid of the crests above the eyes, it would be any generic dinosaur. The arms are too short. Why are the arms so short? Why has it got such a pop bet? I don't like. Yeah, no. That is a bad design. Don't like that. Well, actually, maybe it makes sense to have the doubles. I still have orange juice, thank you. Look, there's only one good Allosaurus design, and that has been Walking with Dinosaurs, in my opinion. Prehistoric Kingdoms Allo, I don't know. It's actually one of their weaker designs, I think. We have cars, right? There they are.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available.
What? Hey, hold up. What's happened? What's happened here? Why is all this stuff? Go away! Why is all this? Add task. It's because I've disturbed all of their routes and stuff that they were taking. Again, I wish we could change the color of these vehicles. Actually, before we put the vehicles in, let's like put in.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond. Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond. Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
Oh, that circle turned out to be smaller than I thought it was going to be. Kind of gets a message across. Oh, let's quickly save here. I need to go and get something. Yes, I was reading what Gareth Edwards said about AI generation for movies. Fuck him, if I didn't have any more reason not to like him. Where are we? We want this. Is it already a blue? Oh, it's already one. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, like how can anyone who works in a creative industry say that they support a technology which is taking creativity out of the industry? Like, how can you say that you support that?
Available personnel, please respond.
Brontosaurus died of old age. Feeder needs research. What's on here? Why are you... Why are you stuck? Go refill the feeder. Are you telling me that you cannot reach that feeder? The inability of the route finding on these maintenance guys is just ridiculous. Why aren't you letting me resupply it? It's like this feeder is broken. It was odd. It was very odd. The games are the only interesting thing in the franchise right now. I mean, maybe, yeah, I would agree with that a little bit. I wish there were some other models of this crane, like the boot, the jib arm in different like positions, just for some variation, you know? to do here? To be honest, Fletcher, you would make a better director for the Jurassic franchise. I don't think I would. I might have grandiose ideas about what I think the franchise should do, but fundamentally, I'm not a filmmaker. I probably know sweet bugger all about how you should actually make films. I just don't think the current movies have been up to snuff. In here somewhere should be. Right. We'll recolor them in a sec. Yeah, I think I'm reasonably happy with that. Yeah, my voice is still pretty... it's not my voice, it's my throat is still pretty sore, so I am having to just be careful how loud I speak, because obviously I don't want to stress my voice too much. Trying to find that, like, sweet spot between loud enough for you guys to hear me properly and not too loud that I'm straining my voice. Where are some of my beloved ferns? There they are. Put in some long grass.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be advised that our weather forecasts predict an incoming sandstorm.
Gotta love those incoming sandstorms.
Ladies and gentlemen, our weather forecast has been updated. The sandstorm threat level has been raised.
They don't really give you much time, do they, between incoming and, oh, it's here. It's like, oh, we're looking at the weather report. We've got some bad weather coming. Okay, how long until it hits? About negative 18 seconds. It's already here. No, don't. That is not a forecast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please shield your eyes and proceed to take cover until the sandstorm has passed.
Why are you telling them to take cover? It's not like any of them are actually affected by
We have
this.
detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
Our dinosaurs are more at risk from these sandstorms than the bloody guests are. The guests are fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Diplodocus to the park. Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
Getting on it. dinosaurs freaking out about the sandstorms. Yeah. Oh no, I hated the mutants from Rebirth, Chad. Did you not see the video I made? I think it was titled "These Are Fucking Hybrids." Or something along those lines. I was not particularly impressed with the Rebirth designs either. Girders, actually. Girders.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sandstorm has now passed. Please resume your normal activity. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Nodosaurus to the park.
What do we want to say? Staff hub, I think. Yeah, those are not mutations. I mean, literally in the first 30, you know, I think it's like within the first 2 minutes, you see the side of the Mutadon tank, and the tank literally says hybrid. So anyone who still thinks these are mutants are too busy sniffing the farts that come out of Universal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Proceratosaurus to the park.
Heck, why are these suddenly... Why are these suddenly not... Why is it doing that? What's happened there? This is another thing that I swear is a bug, but just arbitrarily it will decide that the orientations as you're building on, they're not correct. I don't know why it does that. So typical. That just as I want to have light, so I can see what I'm doing, come on, my guy, you've got power. See, it's little stuff like that that is making me think I don't want to do much more with Evolution 3. I would kind of rather switch to Planet Zoo. It's really annoying things like this. I will just arbitrarily make your orientations not correct for no reason whatsoever. Lighting. Yes, we need to have something to make sure they get lit up. I don't understand why you have to have power to turn on the prop lights. There's such a stupid element that they've chosen to do. What just died? Oh, Scooty. Ooh. Get a move on, vehicles. You're supposed to be fixing the stuff up here. That's within power as far as I'm concerned. So why are those lights not turned on? Ah, path tool. Do you ever download that park of mine that you wanted to look at, Fletcher? I don't remember that conversation, if I'm honest. Oh, no, yes, I do. No, I did not. I haven't had the opportunity to yet. Mostly because I forgot I was going to do a video on it. Seriously, maintenance vehicle. How long does it bloody take you? Fuck's sake, I'll do it myself. Seriously, how long does that take? So why does nothing up here have light working? Claims it's operational, and yet... no lights. Makes... I do not understand how this game claims lights either do or do not work. None of it ever makes sense to me. Because now those ones have come on, but the external lights on this building aren't on. It's like it just makes it, it's like it makes it up as it goes along. Oh, and now suddenly they're back on. Someone make sense of this, please. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for the staff area there. I don't want to do too much else really to this. The only thing that really needs to be done is like a few more plants and stuff in here, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I think that's the staff area basically done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Struthiomimus to the park.
Let's go have a look at this slot over here. Hmm? What do you mean you can't find a route? Can't reach destination. It's right there. Let me guess, it's this. Let me guess, it's all of this. Oh, now you can suddenly get there then when I've turned the collision on. This is also it annoys me. If you put anything over a path, you have to turn the collision off. Otherwise, stuff will not drive underneath it. Like, watch. I bet if I put collision back on, it will flash up. Can't do it. No, you can do it. So it wasn't that one that was stopping you. It was probably this, I would guess. The actual sign.
Please remain calm and proceed to an evacuation exit. Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
How do I want to get power from here, essentially, over to here? I guess the easiest way would be to try to do it by repeater. But they have such terrible, terrible range. Do you for the moment. I don't understand why anyone even wants the music on in this game, frankly. It's a substandard rip-off of an animal.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
Low health? Oh, let me guess, it's the Dilophosaurus that are fighting with each other. Yeah. Only for now, I swear. Ugh. Sorry. This was a bit tight to get that squeeze in there. I don't even know why people are obsessed with the dinosaur fighting in this game, because the dinosaur fighting is kind of naff. It's boring, predictable. I could understand it if, like, there was anything worthwhile seeing, but there really isn't. You'd get better dinosaur fights doing it yourself with 2 plastic models. Oh, right. I want to figure out the power supply over here, because there are pylons everywhere. Bloody repeater stations everywhere. Yeah, that one I'll keep where that is. Okay, so and we'll keep that one where it is. We need to get power from there down to here. So I think we want just another transformer. Which can hook directly into that. That's getting power from there, I think. Then we want another repeater station. I mean, here it would work. We'll just have to plant some trees and stuff back in here. A random enormous log sticking into the path. Okay. So that and that has power. This side of the park has been cut off, but that's fine. We'll just get back up. Temporarily. No power source. Are you not? You're just too far away from that. I see. Ah. Scorpius Rex is not cute. I guess I'll have to put up with 2 abominations, a bald Yeholopterus and Microceratus 2. Yeah. Like I said, it's going to be a relatively pointless DLC for me as well. Hang on a sec. See Daisy.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available person.
Okay. Pylon over to here. Maybe here. Honestly, they haven't even set it so the pylons can sit on top of rocks and stuff. I don't like that. It is. I don't get in the way of the bus. Still won't help get power to where I need it to be. It'll still be too far away from it. One in. Oh, are you kidding me? That's just too far away from... Oh, the range on these things is fucking appalling.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel.
Needs maintenance. Requires power.
outages across the site.
There we go.
Available personnel.
Now they can
please
stop
respond.
shouting at me. Right. Down here. What to do down here? Kind of feel like we need a cafe or something. But I would quite like one with a different design. Let's see, we've got about 15 minutes left. Let's pop into the workshop. I haven't looked in here in fucking ages. Small shopping. Not a bad recreation. I made a decent blueprint ages ago for Grand Canyon Park. Is it a small amenity? Would it fit into the gap? I quite like that's quite cute. That's a cute idea. Yeah, I'll see what that looks like. Wow. See, I want something like that, like just a little shop. What? I've got to see what that looks like. Kind of nice. That's been stolen from someone else. That doesn't really fit the design. Modern tiny restaurant. Curious. It's almost British. So many recreations. Which I have opinions about, as I'm sure you guys know. Interesting. Oh yeah, I have my fossil zone building, don't I? Hang on. Ooh. Ah, see, I wanted to do my own rebuilds of those buildings from Jurassic World Evolution 1. So I'm going to do my own ones of those at some point. But I just forgot. I have the fossil zone building I made ages and ages ago. Where is it? It's purely non-functional, but I don't mind that. There it is. Let's just do just a little adjustment on terrain. Might not fit with the like din style, but I think it's okay. We just where are those little fences? Did I just see a featherless Utyrannus is just an Allosaurus? Why are we talking about pulling the feathers off of Utyrannus? That's not very nice. Probably kind of funny, but not very nice. I think it's okay there. We could say, like, it was set up to sell the stuff they didn't want to, like, protect from this big quarry of dead bones and stuff. What's happened here? What has happened here? Why are you all floating? We return to the dirt. Very odd. And why are you doing it? Hang on a minute. No, you're not. Hang on a minute. Ah, I hate it when it does that. Supposed to be a dinosaur. There it is. Oh, no, no, no. You... Because I built that. And because the flipping area around it is so big when you place them down, it's just, it's thrown everything off. That'll do. Oh, well. it is 1:45, so I'm going to have to pop off now and get ready for D&D. We did at least, however, finally get all the staff area of this Din building, Din Montanna build finished. I think it's turned out pretty good. I think it looks a decent place to work. Add some detail to this end of the park. Still obviously need to finish this big block of blue, put some more greenery in here, but yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how the little flower beds and stuff turned out. So yeah, looking good. This is taking so long though. I thought I'd be able to get this, like we'd spend this year basically tidying up all of the parks. I'm nearly halfway through this year and I haven't finished this one. It takes so long, just because of the modular building and everything. Just takes so long. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Next week's videos are all ready to go, and obviously on Monday when we tomorrow actually when we get the update, I will be doing a quick video on that update tomorrow, so look out for that. But yeah, I will see you guys next time on Wednesday probably with Fallout. Until then, stay safe and good night.